Yeah, we could just have a general standard discussion. This is going to be totally cool with this being a little more of a loose format.
This shirt?
I thought it was a Skyrim reference at first, because it looks like the Jester from the Dark Brotherhood.
This was actually an artist in Pittsburgh did the artwork.
Mm-hmm.
I did the layout.
Oh, nice.
And because I wanted to get back to my old T-shirt
Making days
thing.
Yeah.
And a combination of that and setting up a website that would be kind of like the Vertigo comics of the internet.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was going to call it Mad Perot's, named after Mad Perot from Cowboy Bebop.
Oh.
The one guy that kicked Spike's ass so bad we thought he was going to die.
I do need to watch Cowboy Bebop still.
Oh, you still haven't watched it?
I haven't watched it.
Oh my god, okay.
I've been powering through animes though, dude. Have you watched Ancient Magus Bride yet?
No.
If Studio Ghibli did a series, it would be Ancient Magus Bride. I know that's high praise. It's earned. It's very good.
Awesome.
I would highly, and the English dub is excellent as well.
Yeah.
Which is also good because I don't generally like watching subtitles, but there's some dubs where it's just like so fucking atrocious. You're just like, I want to blow my brains out. I actually stopped watching a show because the dub was so bad.
Gotcha.
I powered through like 4 animes in like a week. It's bad. I'm bad. I'm bad.
We will talk about magic soon.
Oh, is this on the thing?
Oh yeah,
we're recording.
Yeah. We're kind of on theme though because this is a kind of a random, kind of an off the cuff discussion.
Definitely looser feel.
Mm-hmm.
But in case anyone knew, I'm secretly weeb trash. So SAO Bridge is great, by the way. Also watch that one. Stellar. Gamers, good. Trying to think what else I've been watching. Sugar Ray Children, good. Recovery of an MMO Junkie, amazing.
I'll check some of these out. You'll have to message me with them.
I need a list,
And I'm such an anime snob because the few that I will watch and like, I freaking love, but they're such like highly tiered. Mm-hmm. I will watch this tier and this tier, but I will not watch the other 8 tiers.
I will tell you what, I'm a bit of an anime snob myself, but it's been a good year for anime. It's been a good couple years for anime. My Hero Academia is a blast and a half to watch. It's like everything I wanted Naruto to be when I was a kid. I'm like, why is this so boring? I've never been bored once in that show, which is great. There's also a tournament arc, which I love.
So, general rule of thumb, and viewers, if this makes the edit, if you want to give suggestions, a really awesome anime for Kyle or myself to check out, yeah, absolutely.
I've watched like 6 animes in the last 2 weeks.
Here's the criteria. If you
problem.
want Liam to watch an anime series or film. Okay?
Yep, hit me with it. Hit me with that weed stuff.
Cannot have anything too atrociously silly in it. Or for some reason I can't stomach it. Okay, Cowboy Bebop is one of my favorite ever, and you've got Radical Edward, who was silly, but the character, it wasn't atrociously silly.
Right.
You know? And then you've got Trigun. And Vash the Stampede was such a fucking idiot. I couldn't watch that show. I
haven't
could not
seen Trigun.
watch that show. The main character, and if it, their eyes are turning into swirlies and there's exclamation parts all over the place, I can't watch it.
I like it to an extent. For example, one of my new favorite shows this season is Recovery of an MMO Junkie. It's about a 30-year-old career woman who is highly successful but very stressed, who leaves her job, quits society, becomes a NEET, which is not in... It's not in education, employment, or training. It's a Japanese acronym. I learned that.
Interesting.
But yeah, she basically locks herself in her apartment and attempts to rediscover her love of life by playing MMOs, which she absolutely loves. I know you played a ton of EverQuest.
Yeah, that sounds like me in the 90s.
I grew up playing a ton of World of Warcraft, so for those out there who remember Vanilla WoW, just...
Shout out to Gathered Might if anybody from GM is watching, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to Liam's old EverQuest guild. But anyway, so she basically makes a hot male character because she doesn't want to be bothered. She winds up falling in love with somebody who is playing a hot female character. It turns out it is a guy playing a girl character.
Of course.
And she is a woman playing a male character, and it is sort of how their relationship online and in real life intertwines, and they gradually come to get to know one another. And I love it. It's very sweet. It's very moving in some weird places. For somebody who has had a lot of friendships and obviously their career path sort of revolve around games and within that game space. It was some weirdly touching moments. Koiwai is one of the sub characters and is just the most absolute bro, just like the ultimate wingman.
So if you
Watch
know
it. It's
people,
so good. It's so good.
if you know people who have met in MMOs and married in particular, it sounds like this is the show for you to check out.
They don't. Spoiler alert. They don't get married in season 1, but it's just a wonderful deconstruction of their relationship and of the importance of online friendships, which I absolutely loved. And it's done very tastefully. It's done. She's a great character too. If you've ever she reminds me a lot of Anna Kendrick, where it's like she's a hot mess, but a relatable hot mess. It's just great. If you play it, there's a lot of MMO tropes too, where like they reference loot boxes in an episode, and it's the way they talk about it is so. They're like, oh man, they're like, I can't believe I spent like the equivalent of like $200 real world dollars, and they're like, I didn't get a single item. They're like, Lily, how did you get all these items? She's like, I just spent all of my money till I got the ones I wanted. Because we all know that one douchebag who's playing like Destiny or like The Division or Borderlands. Not Borderlands.
I'll admit,
WoW.
I did that in
Yeah.
DDO. In
Yeah.
DDO, I did that.
Oh man, yeah. But
DDO got a lot of my money back.
it was a good one. It was a good one. This should be like we should do a sub show called Magic Stew After Hours, and this could be our first episode.
Let's just call it that now.
After Hours. Magic Stew.
The
First
actual-
episode of Magic Stew After Hours.
The actual point of this video is to discuss the standard format, which we will do, I promise.
In a separate video, but we're talking about anime right now, boys. Because I've literally watched 7 anime in the last 2 weeks. I have binged. I have binged like I have never binged before. It's bad. It's real bad.
Somebody that I probably will at some point tap into to ask for help with if we do, like if Magic Stew or whatever we name the big umbrella that's going to be covering all the things, the events, and
Yeah.
I'm working on possibly doing some kind of charities that relate to magic and things like that. I have a friend who I might tap into to see if because he loves conventions, he loves going to conventions, and maybe see if he would want to help us out with stuff like that. But the point that I want to make is
Conventions are a blast.
that
too, by
this
the way.
dude-
They're really good.
yeah, oh god, I love cons.
I used to go to playtest games. Like that's what I would
Really?
do. Like yeah, we'd bring
Yeah.
like I'd get a team together. We'd bring whatever game we were working on and bring it to a con and do playtesting for.
Well, I've got
hours.
to.
So
I've
much
got
fun.
to get you. You should become friends with our lawyer.
Oh yeah. We should.
Yes, we have a lawyer.
We have a lawyer.
We have an attorney.
We feel so official saying that. Like
Right?
we have a lawyer.
We
Like,
are a
ooh.
thing.
Ooh.
We, not we're a thing. That's not what I meant. But
I mean, we are, but that's beside the point.
no, but the point I
Never
should
mind.
because he does, and I think runs, or at least runs parts of
Yeah.
local, as far as like Maryland, DC,
Yeah.
and maybe other somewhat close by things. I don't know, gaming conventions. Plus, their film, Dungeons and
We
Dragons.
should probably
I
stop
would be
recording this
holder.
at this point.
Why's that?
I don't know. I feel like it's we've gone.
No, I think we're good. We're just
People are thinking.
yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good.
2 hour long conversation with Liam and Kyle. Why not?
Hey,
Why not?
You know, there are a few channels that I've seen that do that, so I'm cool with that.
I mean, why not?
If you guys absolutely hate this, say so in the comments, and we
Yeah.
won't do it again. But you know what? It
It's
it
true.
gives life to
I
the
mean,
channel, really.
Yeah, we're not just
but
magic
anyway,
cards. There's a person to the card
But
sleeves.
what I'm saying is that's kind of like his thing is gaming conventions.
Mhm.
You know, so anyway,
they're a lot of fun though.
but back to my friend that I want to tap into to help us with stuff like that. He actually watched so much anime during a third shift job where he just sat at a desk that he started to learn and understand conversational Japanese.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
He did that for
the other night.
years
Yeah.
and corrects people on their pronunciation. And
I just enjoy it. Which is surprising because I've hated anime for so long.
I don't know how that's possible, but
Because like I don't know, I just felt like there was like a terrible wasteland between like when I stopped watching like Studio Ghibli stuff and then basically up till now, when people would introduce me, I'm like, why? I'm like I had a friend in undergrad who was super into Madoka Magica, which was like all about little girls with superpowers, and I just remember watching this going, like, why am I watching like the True Value version of Sailor Moon? like
Okay, so-
bounce around and
So,
also
question-
fan service bugs the crap out of me. Like I don't need to like if you're
Right.
I mean I guess if you're hard up for it, sure, but I mean do you really need to watch a bunch of cartoon titties? Like you know what I don't know, for lack of a better term, that's kind of uncouth. I apologize, but just like why?
So I've got a question for
What
you,
is
and
this?
I'll actually answer the same question for myself
Okay.
also, and then we'll go into the actual point of the conversation, which was the standard format.
We should end the after hours though and make this a separate episode. We should do that, and then so the standard will be a different video, and this will just be after hours, and people will watch it and they'll either love it or hate it. Do you know what I mean? Because then we can focus it. This is my motion for focusing. I see.
This is my motion for I'm thinking.
No. So I realized too in a lot of like our early videos, I stroke my beard so much.
Really?
Yeah, it's like I don't know if it's a nervous tick or not, but like but when you, it's just so I
do it all the time because I'm trying to get the pointy part to actually be a pointy part. So,
Okay, question though about
Okay, question.
Yeah.
what was the first couple anime that you saw
Oh,
that you would say, not even
yes.
that would shape
Yes.
what
Already-
like
I
your
already have
styles, but
answers.
just literally the first one or two that you watched?
Already have them. Sailor Moon was the first one that we watched.
Okay.
Because OG Toonami was a thing. I know
Sure.
you remember Toonami.
Yeah.
But we were, oh God, I was probably 7, and my little brother and my cousin and I don't know why three little boys were watching it, but we would just turn it on, and I don't know what it was, but we absolutely loved Sailor Moon. We absolutely did. We like followed along. We knew the song.
Of course.
I thought Tuxedo Mask was the man. Like, of course I did. I was in like what, first grade. I immediately was like, oh man, I'm like I just have
Dude,
to.
he's so fucking suave. I mean,
He's just like, but he never does anything too. Like I went back and rewatched it the other day, just because, and it's not nearly as good as I remember it being. Like it's pretty trashed here compared to like what's out now. But I just remember being like, this dude does nothing. He just he's just, like there's literally a clip of the show that gets cut out, and it's just like, well my work here is done, and she's like, you didn't do anything, and he just goes, ha ha ha, and like just. The flourish, but like I remember, we were 7, so we didn't know how crushes worked. So we were just like, I have a crush on this one. Sailor Venus was the best. 7-year-old Kyle, great taste there. But like I remember, my brother picked Sailor Jupiter because she was the sporty one, and he always wanted to do the sports. Forget who my cousin picked. He was always nerdier than us. I think it might have been Sailor Mercury because she was the nerdiest of all of them. That was a big one. Pokemon and Digimon, obviously, like OG Pokemon, just like. Right in the feels. Shout out to my boy Butterfree, wherever you're at, buddy. Digimon just continues to be like one of. I spent a solid 2 hours of not even 2 hours. It was like more like 7 hours. I remember very clearly on a Saturday. This is the best story of little Kyle ever, and his determination and/or idiocy. I was like, I'm gonna catch an Agumon. Which is a little fire-breathing dinosaur that talks. A little bipedal fire-breathing dinosaur. And so in my 5-year-old brain, they made a trap for him. So you know in cartoons when they put a snack by a stick,
Sure,
and
yeah.
they prop the box up? I did that, right? But I didn't have a box, so I got a little basket that is not much bigger than this coffee cup. To illustrate, Agumon is like this big. So already we're running into some structural issues. I didn't have a stick to prop it up, and I didn't have a snack. So I had literally a basket and a string. And I just put the basket mouth side down on the ground and tied a string to it. And I just remember sitting in the shrubs for like 6 hours just because I was convinced that there was an Agumon in this forest and I was going to catch
Wow.
it. I was like,
Wow.
do you know how depressed 5-year-old me was when there was no Agumon in that basket at the end of 6 hours? I legit said it was like something out of Charlie Brown. Just like so sad, just sitting in the bush.
And he's still got the same haircut as Charlie Brown.
I do too. I did then. I had my little head was shaved then. I mean, my hairline was obviously further up. So what is it? So Pokemon, Digimon, Sailor Moon, Monster Rancher was a big one.
Okay.
Which was great.
That was the first game of its type that I actually played and really enjoyed.
Yeah, Monster Rancher was a blast and a half. Yeah, anything that was on like the ABC Family in the mornings block. So like Flint the Time Detective was on there too. And then anything that was on Toonami. So like OG Gundam. We didn't watch a lot of DBZ. Was not allowed to watch a lot of DBZ. But like I remember, like we watched Naruto when it first came out, and we watched One Piece when it first came out. Spirited Away was the first anime movie we ever saw, and
such a good one.
Blew me away. Continues to blow me away.
Great starting point. Oh my god!
Saw that one in IMAX when it released. In Syracuse. Bob, a good friend of mine, bought us both a ticket, and we got to see that and a couple unreleased Miyazaki shorts.
Jealous.
Which was really cool.
Jealous. Very IMAX. Jealous. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that was probably the first ones. The one that got me back into it though was Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night, because the animation quality is spectacular. But as a writer and as somebody who is in and around that game space all the time, I was so angry because it had so much potential, and it just like it was fine. It was a good show, and I would encourage you to watch Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night, both of which are on Netflix in English. The English dub is great. But there's so much potential. They could have just run with that series, and they just squandered it left and right. But it's you would like it. It's like Harry Potter and Game of Thrones on cocaine.
Huh.
It's like the Holy Grail is a real object, and it grants wishes. So every 50 years, every 25 years, I forget what the timeline is, but like every so often, great wizard families will find relics that will allow them to combine magic with the soul of a historical figure.
Oh, wow.
Which then becomes their vessel during this war. Mm-hmm. And so literally you have like superpowered versions of historical figures duking it out for the fate of the world, which is awesome. So like King Arthur is in it, only it's revealed that she's a woman. Her name is Queen Arturia, and she had to hide her true identity for the sake of Britain. So she's got just a big magic sword. Alexander the Great is in it, which is awesome. Gilgamesh. Freaking Gilgamesh is the most overpowered piece of crap, too, in that show. But yeah, so like you've basically just like souped up historical versions of people just duking it. Like at one point there's a 20-foot tall knight who's like basically Green Goblin surfing on two F-16 fighter jets that he's hijacked with magic. Against Alexander the Great, who is flying through the skies on a chariot made of lightning while King Arthur is in the back, swatting down tomahawk missiles with a giant electric sword. If that sentence doesn't get you pumped up, nothing will. Like you're dead inside. It's awesome. I remember watching that scene, just going, okay, yeah, I'm on board. I'm in with it, even if it sucks at the end, and it does suck at the end. I was 100% on board from that moment on. I was like, let's go. I was like, yeah, it was pretty sweet. Yeah. It was pretty cool.
So 1970 something.
Picture it. Vietnam.
Vietnam was over the year I was born.
Oh. Fun fact, everybody.
Or right before.
Okay. Continue.
Right around. So anime obviously was not a big thing in the United States. You had things like Speed Racer.
Yeah.
You know? But the one that really grabbed little Liam, I was over at my neighbor's. Mm-hmm. There was a family, I believe they were from India. And the kid, his name was Benji. He was my age. We would go downstairs and there was this little TV sitting in a corner on a little stand, kind of like the one I have my fish tank that the camera can't see, sitting on.
You kind of hear it blubbling.
It's a little black and white TV.
Mm-hmm.
And he turns it on, and this was just after school, and there's an anime TV series called Star Blazers.
Star Blazers.
Which was basically, I believe the original Japanese title was Space Battleship Yamamoto.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I know it. That's like the one everyone in the anime community quotes. They're like, oh, you gotta watch Space Battleship Yamamoto, otherwise you're like a pleb. I learned that as well.
And what they do, they resurrect the Yamamoto.
Yeah, the World War II battleship?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Into a spaceship and and it's got the cannons, on the battleship, and it's flying around at this ship, and the cannons will turn and shoot these like missiles off at alien ships, and you got this trams like arcing, and then they all hit the.
So good.
And, oh my god, it was amazing, and that Star Wars. I don't even remember if that was out yet when I first saw this.
Yeah.
And that just did it for me. I mean, I was still young enough. I did not see the first Star Wars in the movie theater. I saw Empire Strikes Back in the movie theater.
Right.
My uncle told my dad, "You got to take your son to see this."
Mm-hmm.
I knew what Star Wars was, because the people across the road from me I thought were rich because the kid had every Star Wars toy that had ever come out.
There was always that
You
one
know?
kid too in the neighborhood that had all the the licensed toys. Like
Yeah.
it was like all the Star Wars, like all the Bugs Life or all the Space Jam merch, and you just like hated them. I hated them.
So after beyond that, now I don't remember a ton about it. I just remember thinking this was amazing. Now they did a remake. I've watched the first couple episodes of the
Yeah.
remake. Circumstances have kept me from watching the rest, but I will get back to it. I have no opinion of it right now so far.
Okay.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was great, but we'll see.
Okay.
So
Space Battleship Yamamoto.
later down the road, I'm probably 10, 11, 13-ish.
Mm-hmm.
The Robotech saga
Yeah.
hits television.
Mhm.
Okay, so you've got a similar. Okay, they resurrect a actual spaceship.
Right.
You know, with no idea what this thing can do, and it turns out to be a battle mech fortress. You know, SPF-1, SDF-1, SDF-1, SPF-1 is sunscreen.
Yeah. Very different.
Well, I mean, if you're standing underneath it or behind it,
They both protect you.
yes,
Just
yes.
the nature of what they
And I think
protect
that's
you
the
from
point,
is
right?
different.
So anyway, SDF-1. So I religiously watched it, and they were good about airing it in order.
Yeah.
So you watch the entire first season, and then the Robotech Masters. I didn't know at the time that it was actually three completely different animes. That for the United States, they made it to look like it was a continuation of a saga.
Oh. Okay.
And then the Invid
Interesting.
invasion, and it had a lot of similarities.
Right.
That's how they were able to pull that off.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, during the third saga, the Invid invasion, man, I mean, these crab-like alien spaceships that are like basically alive,
Yeah.
you know, and they're like hunting people. The Earth has been demolished,
Okay.
and they're hunting down the survivors.
Jeez.
And
all right.
and these people have these motorcycles. Okay,
I'm
like
already,
these soldiers
I'm
have
already,
these motorcycles.
I'm already in love. Okay. Yeah.
And they're like speeding down these roads or wherever, you know, and they leap into the air and the motorcycle wraps around them and becomes a battle armor.
Oh, that's so cool.
Like, yeah.
That's so cool. Okay, I'm sold. I'm sold.
I mean, there are literally, in my opinion, based on anime shows and movies, there are no toys out there that are greater than any of the Robotech Saga toys. Because you got the planes that look like F-14s
Yeah.
and have two different modes. An attack mode, hover mode with legs hanging down where the jet engines are, and then it turns into this robot mech
like,
dude, and it's like, you know, oh my god, yeah. But then,
Yeah.
okay, so my
At this
my
point,
stories,
this is a separate video now. 'Cause
Yeah, sure.
We're at
We'll
like
do that.
we're at like 40 minutes.
so yours seem a little more
40
clustered
minute
together,
mark.
but mine are like this stage of my
Yeah.
life, this stage of my life, this stage of my life. So I'm in Ellicott City, Maryland.
Okay.
I'm in Ellicott City, Maryland, at a card shop.
Vietnam.
A comic shop, really, but they sold magic cards.
Okay.
I had just learned how to play magic.
Right.
So we're talking like 90, I don't know, Ice Age was about to come out.
Okay.
And they put Akira.
I was
on the
just
TV.
about to ask if you've watched Akira.
They
Because that's
put
the one
Akira
anime
on-
that I still haven't had a chance to see yet is Akira. And
Dude.
I keep trying to bring myself to watch it and I get distracted.
I
by
could
other
not play magic.
stuff. Yeah.
I couldn't play magic while Akira was on the first time I saw it. Okay? I watched this all the way through and just... It was...
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was done. That was it.
So what's the anime that you want to
check on this.
want to watch the most? Liam is going to check on the recording.
watch the most.
and haven't had a chance to yet. It's the anime that you want to watch the most and haven't had the chance to yet. I actually don't know the answer to this question. I just thought of it right now, which is funny because I'm watching all the animes that I want to watch. Well, that's not true. Maybe I'm still thinking. I'm racking my brain actually because this is the anime episode. That's what we should do. It should be like Magic Stew After Hours and then the blank episode, like the anime episode. The episode that we talk about our favorite professional sports moments, our favorite Magic cards.
I don't have any that I'm looking forward to watching.
No,
No, I really don't.
huh?
I really don't.
Honestly, well, now that I think about it, I keep putting off Cowboy Bebop. I know, I'm a pleb. I
And I know there are those out there that are like, oh, it wasn't that good and it's overhyped.
those are hipsters.
Oh my
They're
god,
just
dude, it's so
hipsters.
good.
That's like
the
people who-
storyline and the characters. If you loved Firefly,
right.
You
which
will
I did.
love Cowboy Bebop.
Well, that's the same thing as like people who are like, "Oh, Full Metal Alchemist wasn't that good." Like, I have friends who will not watch anything anime related, and they watched Full Metal Alchemist because it's not just a good. It's a good show. You know what I mean? Like, there's just some things that just transcend genres, and Cowboy Bebop is apparently one of them. And I will watch it at some point. I just am still reeling over the heartbreak of
I think
Firefly still years after having watched it.
God
and
damn it, Fox!
I just don't want to like go through it again because I know that Cowboy Bebop has a sad ending because someone told, not you, but someone did tell me it has a sad ending, and I just don't want to like get myself invested over 14 episodes and then just have my internal organs ripped out again and then stomped on in front of me for show.
Actually,
I'm not ready. Emotionally, I'm not prepared for
I think
that.
I do have an answer for the question.
Yeah?
Actually, now that I think about it.
Hit me with it.
I believe, and I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that there are new seasons or series, however you want to put it, of newish of Ghost in the Shell that I haven't seen yet. And I realize that every single series of Ghost in the Shell has been pretty much the same story regurgitated,
Yeah.
but I've loved it.
Yeah. You should change your answer to Sword Art Online Abridged, which is an abridged series of an existing anime that is not only better than its existing source material and adds more to the characters and storyline than the source material does.
I did start watching the original Sword Art Online.
Which is actually, like, it gets a lot of flack, and it does get bad. Like, the first season is fine, and then after that, it's gonna drop like the Tower of Terror, man. It's gonna be bad. But Sword Art Online Abridged, in half the time, with like a 25th of the resources, makes a show that is better to its characters, better to its setting, is a more interesting and compelling show than its source material, and is actually one of the more interesting and compelling shows I've watched in a while. I love it a lot. It's like if Seinfeld and Star Wars had a child, because the characters are all just insufferable jerks, and it's still just really good and really funny, and they all find good ways to redeem themselves. It's interesting. There's a lot of good movie references, a lot of great humor. Go watch it. It's worth it. Literally takes 3 hours to watch the whole series. And it is 3 hours well spent.
Recommendation.
Yes.
Witch Hunter Robin.
Okay.
It's a very dark kind of gothic. She's a witch, and
Okay.
she has to hunt down other witches.
This sounds like Bloodborne, and I'm already on board.
That's a very good one. And also,
On board.
The Girl Who Leapt Through Time is kind of more of a drama.
Okay.
It's a film, not a series.
Okay.
Witch Hunter Robin is a series.
All right.
The Girl Who Leapt Through Time is a film about a girl who literally runs and jumps, and somehow, when she lands, she's somewhere else in time. And she realizes she can do it, and she tries to make changes, and has to then live with the consequences of those
Oh, it's like
changes.
Butterfly Effect, kind of.
Yes.
That's cool.
Amazing story.
Paprika is another anime film that I
Yes,
need to see.
Paprika.
As well. Also on my list.
Grave of the Fireflies, if you want another sad one.
No, I know what that one is, and I won't watch it because I know what it is. It's just understand that I am secretly a giant squish ball. Like, my favorite anime of all time is and I shudder to say this because I look like a bearded Viking man, but there's a romance anime named Toradora, and it's my favorite anime of all time, and I absolutely love it because it's about a kid who everybody thinks is a delinquent, and he's actually a really sweet guy, and this really, really cute, popular girl who is an absolute delinquent, who's sort of been abandoned by her family, and the guy is sort of living with his mom, and they're both social outcasts, either self-imposed or it's imposed on them by others, and they sort of wind up leaning on each other for support, and they're basically trying to set the other one up with their best friends. And over the course of it, the two of them wind up obviously falling in love with each other. But their development as characters, it's one of the more, there are a few romance anything that I really enjoy, which is odd because I'm a sucker for a good love story, and this is one of the more believable ones and you get so attached to these characters and how they grow and the entanglements of their affections and their daily lives. I really, really enjoyed it.
Good character development can make a film so much more than just action scenes and adventure scenes.
Yeah.
And even in anime, good art, you can have a film with a lot of great action and a lot of amazing artwork that just doesn't light a candle to other ones. Like one of the reasons I love Cowboy Bebop, the great character development.
I just watched a show the other day with really nice production value, And just the writing was terrible, but the characters were just one note, one dimensional, and just couldn't do it. But Toradora is that for me in the weirdest way. Like I don't think I've ever felt for characters in a TV show as much as I did for those kids. I was like, I'm rooting for them because they're so out of their depth. Both of them, the two leads are just so out of their depth, and I absolutely, like, as a writer, that's the best way to watch your characters grow is to push them into a situation they're unprepared for. Yeah. And in this instance, their entire life is something that they're unprepared for, and it's something that like the two of them constantly force the other one to deal with in really spectacularly and they're not the girl is definitely selfish, at least in the beginning. But they're both like preoccupied with their own struggles, and they keep forcing one another away from what they're dealing with to what the other person is dealing with, either intentionally or unintentionally. And it's so cool to watch the two of these people grow, like throughout the whole series. It's just spectacular. Like it's just spectacular. It's also one of the most accurate depictions of high school students just ever. Because I'd say this is somebody who recently graduated. I guess not. Well, it's like what, 5 years, 6 years, something like that. Recently graduated high school. Like there's a scene where they're like waiting on the train station for their buddies to show up, and like two of the characters are already there, and then the main characters arrive. And they're like, "Aha, we're so happy to be here!" And like the one girl is crouched in a power squat like this, doing this motion, and the other guy is like above her like this, doing the same motion in the opposite direction, so it looks like they're in a circle. And they're like, "Oh God!" And then there's like a cut to black, and the fifth person in their friend group shows up, and then all four of them are in a line doing this in different directions, and they're like, "Hello, you're late." And then she's like, "I don't actually know you," and then she tries to run away, and they shuffle after her in the line, doing the same awkward, dumb hand motion.
That actually sounds like stuff that some of my old high school friends.
Yeah, I was like, can confirm that's stuff that my friends and I still do currently.
And
like,
in a genre
beautiful.
where high school students are depicted
beautiful.
as much as they are, you'd think more of them would be as accurate as.
They're not. And that's another thing too. Like they're kids. It was a beautifully shot, beautifully animated, beautiful story. And again, I'm a sucker for a good love story. And there's so few good love stories that have not been told about a billion times over. And this was one of them. So it caught me by surprise, and I wound up really enjoying it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's good. Well, that's Magic's Through After Hours, the anime episode. Join us next week when we talk about something else.
I had fun. Hopefully you guys had fun.
Yeah, I had a ton of fun. This is a blast and a half, man.
And if if you don't feel like this video is appropriate for our channel, don't like it, just let us know.
Seriously, put it in the comments.
I'm not saying we're going to listen to you, but but we might.
I might get Liam to listen to it. But no, seriously, just tell us. I mean, this is a lot of Magic channels sort of like, it's only Magic, and that's great. And again, we're not saying the majority of our content isn't going to be Magic. Like, the majority is going to be Magic.
You've probably noticed by now, we've got deck techs, we've got discussion, we've got gameplay, and we're kind of more of a variety show than some who I just do deck techs, I just do gameplay, I just do finance, I just talk about the edgelords and all the stuff that they're doing.
Right. It's just important for you to know that we're human. We do other stuff other than play Magic. I mean, Dev does the same thing. Rudy's been doing the same thing, giving you a little bit of an inside look into his life. So, I mean, why not, we do stuff other than Magic. So if you like it, let us know. If you don't like it, let us know. If you dislike it, then we might be the end of After Hours, end before it started. But, I mean, hey...